What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you all that I own for physical media, and it is quite a lot. And I've kind of been meaning to do this for a while, but I kind of just kept putting it off. But now I kind of really want to. So, yeah, I'm going to go through all of the physical media I own. So let's do it. Okay, so starting on the bottom row of this giant shelf, I have horror movies. These are all horror movies that I've seen, and this shelf is all movies I've seen, I should say, aside from some of them, which I'll get to. But this bottom row, all across, is all horror movies. And some of them are, like top movies for me. Like, we'll just go through some of like my favorites, like Creepshow, The Descent, In the Mouth of Madness, really underrated. Evil Dead, I have like this classic Ultimate Edition for it. Army of Darkness is also an amazing film too. Dawn of the Dead, Halloween, all-time classic. Martyrs, a really fucked up French extremity film. High Tension, also a fucked up French film as well. War of the Worlds is pretty good. I watched that a lot as a kid and still like it now. Trick or Treat, that's like one of my favorite recent horror movies that I've watched like in the past. This was the first movie I watched for Horror October Day 31 in my first season. Um, we have the original Saw, which I think is the best one, but I mean, there's other good entries too, but that's the original Saw there. Don't Breathe, really great, effective horror movie, like really well done, super well done. Black Christmas, this is like an all-time classic horror movie that I really, really love. Get Out, great modern horror movie from the legend Jordan Peele. The Thing, great John Carpenter movie, amazing John Carpenter movie. Not actually my favorite John Carpenter movie, but actually, I don't know. With Halloween and In the Mouth of Madness, like it's pretty close. I don't know. I guess I give it to The Thing. It's tough though. The Fly. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love this movie so much. I watched it just recently, actually. Um, I have the Friday the 13th collection. I'm a big like Friday the 13th like fan. I think it's like a really enjoyable horror franchise. Like a lot of people like to shit on it and call it like bad, but I think it's pretty decent. Um, let's see here. We have The Hills Have Eyes. That's also a really good one from the legend Wes Craven. These are some of the other Saw movies that I have. This is Saw 3, and that is Saw 2. I don't know that I don't think I have any other Saw movies other than that, but someday I might have to get the other ones. Possession. This is a really cool, like DVD that I own from, for this movie. It's really cool. I got it online, and it's like, I hadn't even like seen this movie before, but I just like love the look of this like DVD, and I just like had to get it, and then I watched the movie, and it was just like really good. So I'm like, it's really nice to like own this. It's a really well done film. The Exorcist. This is like a movie that like I held out on watching for quite a long time. So yeah, I'm glad I finally got to it. Really good film. This is an interesting collection that my friend gave me. It's a John Carpenter collection. It has The Thing, Prince of Darkness, They Live, Village of the Damned. The only one that's bad is Village of the Damned. These other ones are pretty good, especially The Thing, obviously. So yeah, that's my horror row. Next, we have just like some assorted movies that I own that I've seen before. Once again, these are all movies I've seen before. So I'm kind of just gonna run through these. Like, they're not like all-time favorites, but they're movies I own and have seen, and they're decent, and they're they're not like bad that I'd like want to give them away. So they're just like ones that I kept, in case I want to watch again. Just like Heaven, that's actually a really good romantic comedy. Yeah, so that's that. Those two rows. Now these top rows are like I would consider like all-time favorites of mine. So like Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Paul Verhoeven. Get your ass back to Mars. Like, it's classic. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the legend, Jack Nicholson gives like such an amazing performance in that. Mother. This is like, quite a divisive movie, but yeah, I love it. I don't know. I don't care. I love it. Requiem for a Dream, also kind of like a crazy like out there movie, but I love like the themes in this, and I think it's really well done. I don't know why it says Emily W, but uh, great movie. This is actually an interesting one. This is the Planet of the Apes Legacy Collection, so it's all of the original Planet of the Apes movies. This was kind of like what kind of got me into movie reviewing. Like when I first like watched this, specifically the first Planet of the Apes, and then like I reviewed like all of these. Cool, franchise to watch. Some of these were kind of mediocre, but Escape is underrated. But these other ones are kind of mediocre. But it was interesting to watch, though. I still have yet to see the new trilogy, though, aside from Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Back to the Future. I mean, like, I had to get this because it's like, it's so nice. I should actually put this with my Blu-rays, but this is, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people have already said it, but it's a legendary trilogy. It's one of my favorite trilogies of all time. Maybe my favorite trilogy of all time. It's hard to say for sure, but it's up there. It's up there. I watched it. I grew up with this a lot, and it's amazing. Um, Falling Down. This is like a really underrated movie that I've become like obsessed with lately about like, just standing up to like society, like not liking society and like saying you've like had enough of like the shit that's been dealing with you. Like it's like really good for that, and it's like really like enjoyable to watch. Lost Highway, this is like a really interesting David Lynch film for me that meant a lot because this was like the first like really like film that like made me have to like think, and like it got me into like surreal kind of movies that like make you have to like think. So I think I like really commend it for that. It's such a great movie. It's so well done. So yeah, 127 hours. That's a pretty good one. With James Franco, really intense, where he has to lose his arm. Wall-E, childhood classic that I always love. Mystic River with your boy Sean Penn. Very good, effective drama. Unbreakable. Arguably, actually, yeah. I mean, probably my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. I mean, like Split is also like up there, but this one's a really good M. Night Shyamalan movie. Say Anything. This is just like writing done so well, and like it feels like the script and like the dialogue was just like firing on all cylinders here. Like this is just like such a well done movie, like all around. Um, Next we have some PTA, Punch Drunk Love and Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is really well done, but I do kind of favor Punch Drunk Love just a little bit more. But they're both really good. About Time. This is like a really good like heartfelt movie about like like life and how you wish you could like change things. Like it's got some like really good themes to it, and it's got Rachel McAdams, who I love a lot. And yeah, it's just like a really like heartfelt movie. Yeah. This is actually one I just bought today, funny enough. The Holdovers. I watched this in theaters, and I decided to get it again because or I decided to get it because it's a really great movie that I really loved. So deserving to own. Okay. Next we have Guardians of the Galaxy. I've owned this for like quite some time. So yeah, I mean like it's definitely like up there as far as like one of my favorite MCU movies. It's not like it's not like in my top favorites, but it's really good. Like it's really good. I really like it. It's just a really fun movie, and it's a cool movie to own. I think I got it as like a gift at one point on like DVD. Next we have the two Terminators. Both great movies in their own right, equally. I think I used to always think Terminator 1 was better, but like Terminator 2 has like better action, but I kind of like the plot of Terminator better. So like I kind of like go back and forth with them, but like they're both really good. Collateral. This is a really like effective movie. I'm surprised I haven't taken this out of the case because I've seen it like twice. I guess I just haven't watched it on DVD yet. But yeah, really great performance by Tom Cruise as this like nasty villain. Really, really well done from the legend Michael Mann. Edge of Tomorrow, or Live, Die, Repeat. I mean, I guess it's called two different things, but really enjoyable action movie that someday I'll have to watch again. I've only actually seen this once, but I really, really liked it when I saw it in the theater. Next we have Duel. Some would argue like, I mean, no one would argue this, but I would argue this might be Steven Spielberg's best movie, which is like crazy to say, but like it's so like exhilarating and like thrilling and like exciting to watch. There's like so much intensity packed in this movie, and it's just so well done. Like I don't know, I feel like the spectacle of like a movie like Jurassic Park, like I'm not that like big on that, so like I don't know. But that's a really really good movie, Duel. Um Mad Max Fury Road, one of my greatest like theater experiences of all time. Like so good. This was so much fun to watch in the theater. I just mean like this is like the perfect action movie, and it's kind of sad that like um, the new one kind of doesn't look that great, but it is what it is. It has Anya Taylor-Joy though. Next we have Arrival, or actually Assault on Precinct 13. This movie, okay, I gotta really talk about this movie. This movie is vastly underrated. Like people need to see this movie, especially if they're a fan of John Carpenter. Like it's so good. It's like so good with the action that takes place, and like it's very like simple in its premise, but it's like so effective at delivering like tension, and like it's just really well done. I've seen this like at least 3 times at this point. So yeah, really great movie. Definitely recommend it. Next we have Arrival from Denis Villeneuve. I need to see more of his movies, but this was really well done. I really liked the whole premise of this and like the plot that unfolds. It's really cool. Really good movie. Next we have The Two Predators. So many people, of course, will say the first Predator is better, but which I do agree with. The first Predator is better, but the second one is also great too, in my opinion. There's definitely some not so good parts of Predator 2, but a lot of it is still like just as enjoyable as the first. But obviously like the first like has like the camaraderie of like the group of guys, and like the action that takes place, and like the fight between like the Predator and the final character. And yeah, it's just this Predator is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like honestly, like definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay, and now we're on to the last segment of my collection. And yeah, just so you know, these are like I tried to like organize them by genre. These are like general like sort of genre movies. These are like action sort of movies, and these are like comedy sort of movies. So that's kind of how I split it up. Um, we'll go through these. So Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That this is such a fun movie that I've seen like so many times. I really, really enjoy this movie. It's a lot of fun. Where the Millers, also a surprisingly enjoyable movie, like from Rawson Marshall Thurber, like underrated director who like delivers a lot of like fun movies for sure. Little Miss Sunshine. This is such a well done movie, man. Like people need to check this movie out. Like look at this cast: Paul Dano, Steve Carell, Toni Collette. Like damn, dude. Like it's so funny and it's like so well done and it's so like authentic and like unique. I just mean like this is just such a great film. The Naked Gun trilogy plus Police Squad. Okay, so the thing about this is that it's the Naked Gun movies, but also the show Police Squad that the Naked Gun was based off of. So it's kind of cool how it like kind of like came from this. Like it started from this and then went to the Naked Gun, which is like such a great trilogy, really fun. But Police Squad, the show, is also like really like underseen or like understated, I guess. Like I feel like people don't talk about it, Police Squad, at all. Like it's actually like a really funny show. Like it's like I mean like time hasn't served it well. It's like kind of hasn't aged well, but like it's a really good series. So yeah. Next you have Raising Arizona from the Coens. That's a really like funny like Coens movie that's like it's like silly but like really well done. The Cable Guy, great Jim Carrey movie. I've seen so many Jim Carrey movies, but this is a great one, The Cable Guy. Deadpool, yeah, great comic book movie that I still really like. Yeah, it's really well done. It's funny, and it's it's different from like the other like formula you see with like other movies, other comic book movies. Airplane and Airplane the sequel. This was like a gift that I got from someone, which is like such a great gift. I mean, like the second one is like surprisingly bad. Like it's actually like surprisingly bad. Like it's okay, but like I really thought it was like better. But the first one though is really funny and really well done. Like it's so good. They're like firing in all cylinders with that. Liar Liar. This is a really great Jim Carrey movie that I've seen so many times now. This was like I grew up watching this like so many times and like I've always like found it funny and like I watched it like at some point last year I watched it and it still was like just as funny as ever. Like it's Jim Carrey at his most like crazy and like it just works like so well. Like and it's just always it always like gets me laughing. It's always like a great way to like like get a good laugh if you need it. 13 Going on 30. This is a kind of like a romantic comedy that I like grew up on. I really like it. It's really enjoyable. It's funny and like I don't know, it's wholesome. It's a really great movie. Then you have Click. I actually watched this just recently. This was also kind of a comedy I grew up on somewhat. It's kind of like emotional actually, surprisingly. And like, there's some like dumb humor in it, but like a lot of it for the most part like works pretty well. So it's a really good movie. And then you have the two Home Alone movies. The first one I'd say is better, but the second one's also really good. It's just even more absurd with like the traps that Kevin sets, but I love the first one. It holds like such a special place in my heart. The first one's so well done, so well done. All right, so that concludes DVDs that I own that I've seen. So now we'll go through this other stuff. I have the entire Friends series on box set DVD. Amazing show. A lot of people like to hate on it, but I really enjoy it. I think it's really funny and I think it's great. I've watched all 10 seasons and it's one of those shows you can just like put on if you need like a good laugh and just like something to like just take your mind off stuff. Seinfeld. I actually have this, but I haven't really like ever watched Seinfeld. So this is actually one that I haven't watched. I've seen like episodes here and there. Like I should get into it because it's supposed to be like good. Like obviously like it's a well-regarded show by a lot of people. SpongeBob, the first 100 episodes. This is such an amazing like piece of physical media to own because like SpongeBob like did so much for me growing up. Like I grew up on SpongeBob like all the time and like I just like hold it so dearly in my heart and like even to this day like it's still just like so good to watch. Like if I ever just want like to watch a good episode of SpongeBob, I'll just like put something on this on. Um, Even to this day. Twin Peaks, The Return. This is the 2018 Twin Peaks, the new one. I still have yet to see it actually, but at some point I will. I've seen the original series and I've seen the movie. So, but at some point I'll see this. This is The Office season one. I actually own the box set, the entire series on DVD, but this is just season one. When I first got into the show, I bought season one. So yeah, I bought season one, like not sure if I would like it, and then like I loved it, so I bought the whole series. So that's kind of how that went. But yeah, great show. Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT. This is all of the seasons. In my junior year of college, I binge watched the entire like series. Like from like my it was like fall semester of junior year of college actually. So from like September to like December, I watched all of these, like all of them. And I was just like watching like 3, 6 episodes a day, like whatever, and like I was just so into the show. Like it was just one of those shows that you could just keep watching like episode after episode with all the different like storylines and like things going on in it. And yeah, it's just like it's such a good show. Like I just really liked it, and I watched the first one, Dragon Ball 2, which is also good, and I still have to watch Super though, but at some point I will probably watch Super. Okay, lastly, we have a some movie collections. So we have this movie collection, which is kind of like it's like a set of like different like I guess like B movies kind of. It's like it's called Twisted Terror collection. It's really cool. It's got Deadly Friend, Eyes of a Stranger, Doctor Giggles, The Hand from Beyond the Grave, and Someone's Watching Me. Someone's Watching Me is a John Carpenter movie, actually, which not many people have seen, but I can say I have. I watched that. And then The Hand is like a kind of unexpected, like, slow burn movie with Michael Caine. And Deadly Friend is like this, it's like a B movie, kind of. Well, this whole box set is a B movie, but B movies. But this is a Wes Craven movie about like a robot who like is like this person's friend, like deadly friend. But yeah, it's different, that's for sure. Now this is one of the best purchases I've ever made. Universal Monsters classic complete 30 film collection. It's more than 30 films though, because like some of these like have like films that like they there's like so many. So it's all of the classic Universal monsters. So it's sorry, let me get this. Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Phantom of the Opera, the Mummy, and the Invisible Man. So yeah, pretty great, pretty great. I still have many of them to see, but someday I will see all of them. But I've seen quite a few of them. Like I've seen almost all of the Invisible Man movies. I've seen Frankenstein. I've seen Dracula. I've seen the Mummy. I've seen the Wolfman. I've seen Creature from the Black Lagoon. So like I've seen a lot of them. It's like there's like a lot of sequels that I still gotta see, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Alfred Hitchcock movie collection. This is such a cool collection. It has like all of Alfred Hitchcock's like really like big movies. Kind of. I would say these are all like pretty big Alfred Hitchcock movies. It's five of them, and I've seen three out of five of these. The only two I haven't seen are North by Northwest and Rear Window, which I will see at some point. I've been really meaning to see North by Northwest. Like, I've heard this is really good. At some point, I will finally see this because I've heard a lot of good things, and Rear Window as well. But Birds is a classic, really effective, like terrifying movie, for sure. And Psycho, I mean, Psycho is an all-time classic. Like this movie, like has a legacy for a reason. Like it's so good. And Vertigo, it actually like really wasn't for me, which is like crazy to say, I know, but it just like I don't know, it wasn't for me. It didn't do a lot for me, but nonetheless, Alfred Hitchcock is a great director. So yeah. Next we have a David Lynch collection. This is kind of like a great way to own three David Lynch movies. It's The Elephant Man, Mulholland Drive, and Inland Empire. All of which I've seen, and all of which I really, really liked. At some point, I will rewatch Mulholland Drive because that movie frustrated me, and I want to try to like understand it and enjoy it like the second time around. So at some point, I'll give it a rewatch. Lastly, for this shelf, for the most part, we have 50 horror classics. This is like a collection of like kind of like B movies, I guess. Yeah, it's there's some like really, really, really bad ones in here. Like they're all like really like silly, like dumb looking ones. I'll like scroll through them, but yeah, it's just a lot of like B movies from like way back in the day, but it's 50 of them, and there's like I don't know, some enjoyable ones in here. Like Carnival of Souls is like a classic one that I've seen before. Dementia 13 is actually a decent movie with directed by Francis Ford Coppola actually. The Killer Shrews, that was actually one I saw recently that it was okay. It wasn't bad. Like Nightmare Castle, also like a really decent movie with Barbara Steele, great horror actress. Nosferatu, also like an all-time classic like horror movie. So yeah, you got like an interesting like mix of horror movies here. Um, it's a cool collection to have. With people like Vincent Price, great actor, and all those other people. All right. So that is all of the physical media that I own for DVD that I've seen. So we'll go through the next section now. This is, I'll hold it this way for a second. This is it's kind of like collector's DVDs, kind of like more like higher quality DVDs or movies, I should say. You've got Ash here with the Evil Dead poster, and you got the figure there. Ash with a chainsaw. Groovy, baby. And then we've got some cool like decorations. This is a sword that you can like take out, but it's just like for display. And like a cool little ghost, Pac-Man ghost. And yeah, I also have a bunch of pop figures. I won't go through them, but this is them. I like to have them. I have about like 50 of them. Yeah, they're cool to collect, and it looks really nice, like with everything else. So yeah. But yeah, we'll go through these. So starting off from the top, we'll start from the top. These are movies I have not seen yet. They are all Criterion movies that I have not seen yet that I own. So yeah, there's a lot of good ones here to see. Tampopo seems really fun. enjoyable. I've seen, okay, actually, so I've actually seen two of these, the before movies. I've seen Before Sunrise and I've seen Before Sunset. I still have to see Before Midnight though. So this trilogy isn't quite complete yet, but soon, someday it will be. Yeah, just a bunch of other different like Criterion movies that I thought would be cool to get, that I still have to see. So yeah. And then we have some Criterion movies that I have seen. So we'll go through those. Um, Kicking and Screaming. Really effectively written movie by Noah Baumbach. Like the script in this is just like so good, and like the dialogue these characters have with each other is just like so well done, and like it makes sense for a director like Noah Baumbach. So very well done movie. Armageddon. That's actually a really fun movie. It's really funny that I own this on Criterion. It's a hilarious movie to own on Criterion. Insomnia, not the Christopher Nolan one. This is a good movie. Blood Simple. This is the first movie from the Coens. It's so good actually. It's actually such a good movie. I really really like this movie. I think it's the best Coen Brothers movie, and it's like not even close for me actually. Like I love this movie. It's so good. With like this whole like murder mystery thing, and like I don't know. It's I really really liked it, and I neglected to put it on my top 100 the last time I did top 100. Silence of the Lambs. Also, I mean, like I feel like people like overrate it a little bit maybe, but like it's a really really good movie. No doubt. Someday I'll have to see it again, but like yeah, it's a really really effective like detective sort of story. With this, Anthony Hopkins character. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I'll have to see it someday soon. Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. This is a great Criterion to have. I'm so glad to have this. Um, it's this I would argue is like better than the show. It's really close. It's like really really close. But this goes perfectly like with the first season of the show, because the first season of the show is so good, and like this kind of like goes along with it like really well. It's like the type of like vibe they're going for with like the themes, and like the tragedy of everything, and like the sadness, and yeah, it's just really well done. David Lynch is a legend, that's for sure. The Vanishing, okay. The Virgin Suicides, also, okay. House, really interesting horror movie. Really well done, actually. The Incredible Shrinking Man. This movie is so fucking underrated, man. I love this movie. It's such a well done movie. Like for its time, like it is like peak science fiction in my opinion. Like it's so enjoyable for like everything that it provides, and like all of its runtime. Like it's so like thrilling and like interesting to watch. I watched this movie on a plane, and it was such a great time. I watched this movie on a plane on my phone actually. So yeah, I loved it. I just loved it. So yeah, definitely recommend this one. We have Five Easy Pieces. Decent movie. The Blob, the old one, kind of a little dated, but it's a decent movie. Eyes Without a Face. It's a decent movie. It's just like I feel like they didn't get like it's not like it's more about like a crazy scientist. Like it feels like it's not about like Eyes Without a Face as much. Like I feel like the plot of the movie kind of like went in like a direction I disagreed with. So, but that's just me. So yeah, those are the Criterions that I've seen though, and those are the Criterions that I haven't seen. So yeah, and then these are our Arrow videos that we have. All Arrow videos that I own. Some of these I haven't seen, some of these I have. Actually, I've seen all of these except for partially one. So Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I love Elvira. She's so hilarious, so funny, so enjoyable to watch. This movie is like become like one of my favorite movies to put on. It's just so funny and I don't know, like easy to watch, and it's just like so enjoyable. I've seen it 3 times now. Girls' Night Out. This movie was surprisingly like eh. It was kind of underwhelming, but it's an Arrow video. It's cool to have, I guess. um, let's see. American Horror Project Volume 1. Now, this one's interesting. This is one that I haven't seen all these for, and this cost a good amount of money to get. And, like, I've only seen one of them. I've seen Malatesta's Carnival of Blood, and it was just, like, okay. Like, it wasn't anything special, really. But, like, I still need to see these other ones. But nonetheless, it's just like, it's kind of just like a cool, like, Arrow video to own, I feel like, just with, like, the look of it. I don't know, I was just kind of, like, drawn into it, so it's just one of those things I got. Next you have, Society. This movie is, like, I feel like it's kind of, like, it's one of those movies that's, like, messed up just for the sake of being, like, messed up. Like, look at it. Like, it's just, like, kind of ridiculous, like, with everything they show in this, but I guess it's a decent movie, but it's not that good in my opinion. Deep Red, a movie from the legend Dario Argento. This movie is so good. I think it's actually better than Suspiria. It's really effective with like the whole like murder mystery plot that it has, you know, as classic, you know, genre films do. But it's like so well done. The score in this is like one of my favorite like scores of all time. Like it's so good. And yeah, I just remember like really liking this movie a lot. So yeah, that's definitely a good one to have. And lastly, for Arrow Video, we have Audition from Takashi Miike. I actually bought this when I was in Spain, funny enough. It's actually still in its casing. You can see that that's in Spanish there. So this is a Spanish DVD, but the movie is Japanese, so it doesn't matter. But I watched this movie not here, not from this, but I watched this movie once, and it's like honestly one of my favorite movies of all time. It's so good, so good. I think it's like just really well done. It's a really well done like romance movie, but also like a horror movie at the same time. Like it's really effective at kind of like being both. As far as like this guy trying to find love, and then like, you know, there's like some horror mixed in there. So yeah, really great movie. Definitely recommend it. Also, Ichi the Killer is really good too, from Takashi Miike. Okay, next we have Blu-rays. These are my Blu-rays. All Blu-rays that I own. So top row is Blu-rays that I haven't seen, and then bottom row is Blu-rays that I have seen. So I have seen some of these actually. So The Fly I talked about earlier, I have seen that. And I've seen The Fly 2. That's a really bad movie. I have seen The Fly, the old one, the original The Fly. And then I haven't seen these two. I guess there's 2 sequels to the 1950s one, which is interesting. But yeah, that's The Fly. I have, you know, this whole ass collection. Yeah, there you go. Okay, gotta get back in there. All right. This is a Paranormal Activity movie collection, actually. It's only the first 3, but like, I don't know. I mean, I bought it because, I mean, like, it has the other 2 movies on it, and it wasn't like that bad of a price to get. And I was like, yeah, why not? Maybe I'll watch these other ones, but I've seen the first one. It was pretty underwhelming, so someday I'll have to watch the second and third, maybe. I don't know. And then we'll just kind of go through some of these other ones. I'll just show you what they are. really feel the need to talk about these other ones a lot. Darren Aronofsky film I need to see, The Wrestler. Yeah, City of God. I've heard a lot of good things about that movie. Wait, why is 2001 here? Okay, I actually gotta fix this. 2001 is a movie I have seen, so that goes on the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, adaptation from the legend Charlie Kaufman. Great director. Yep. So that's Blu-rays I still have to see. And now we get to Blu-rays I have seen. Now quite a lot of these are like up there as far as being like some of my favorites of all time. Speed. This movie has seen so many plays in my Blu-ray player. I've seen this movie like 6 times, like not even exaggerating. I love it so much. It's always so much fun. It's always so exciting and so enjoyable and so intense, and I just love it so much every single time. And it's like one of those movies, like I feel like I can like get something out of it like that I hadn't like appreciated the last time, like, you know, this time around. Like it's one of those movies that like I'll never like get tired of it because there's always going to be something for me to enjoy in it. And it's just like the action like never ceases to be enjoyable, and this is like honestly like one of my favorite movies of all time. So yeah, Speed, amazing movie. Inferno, this is a good movie from Dario Argento. I really like it. It's not as good as Deep Red, but it's a decent movie. Return of the Living Dead. This is a classic like older movie that's like a really good take on like the zombie movie. It's a lot more like grotesque and like violent and like graphic compared to Night of the Living Dead, which I really like. Like I thought it was like a good spin on like the zombie story for that. Trilogy of Terror. This is underrated. I feel like people don't talk about this. This is one of those that people don't talk about enough. From Karen Black, a great horror actress who was in some great horror movies, like The Pix, which is like a really messed up, underrated horror movie. But Trilogy of Terror is a great movie from her, though. That it's 3 short films, all with Karen Black, and yeah, they're all like really good movies. This is like a really good film that I really liked. So yeah, and they're all like kind of like different. Like the first one is kind of like this like romance story, and then the second one's like this like psychological like horror story, and then like the third one's like this like just like pure adrenaline rush like thriller, like crazy little skit. So yeah, they're all like really cool in their own right for that. So yeah, we'll just go through some more of these. Rabbit, I didn't really like that much. Battle Royale, you might have seen that I had Battle Royale over there. You might actually be able to see it from here, I don't know. You might have seen that I had it over there, but the thing, I bought an edition of the movie that didn't have English subtitles. Actually, it only had like Korean. And so I was like, okay, I guess I can't really watch this movie then. So I watched it on like fucking like Amazon, and then like that kind of sucked. So after that, enjoying the movie on Amazon, I bought this out of kind of like respect for the movie, because it's like the movie is so good. So like I had to like, you know, pay my respect to it. Someday I'll have to rewatch it again maybe, but yeah. Nope, another great Jordan Peele movie. One of my favorites of 2022. Definitely up there. It's a really well done movie. I don't think it's quite as good as Get Out, but like it's definitely like so good. Like it's hard to beat Get Out and like Us. But Nope is really good. Love, Simon, really good like coming of age movie that I really liked. Grindhouse, this is like with like Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. They like collabed for like 2 movies, Death Proof and Planet Terror. I really didn't like Debt Proof that much, but Planet Terror I really liked. I really like had a good time with that one. Titane. This was like a really divisive like movie that I was actually really torn on this myself for a while. Like I couldn't really decide if I really like appreciated this movie that much, but like the more like I thought about it, like it had some like really good themes about like life and like how people live, and like I don't know, like standards and like the standards like people have to live up to. So I think for that it's really cool. But it's just like such like an out there movie. Malignant. This is a really awesome horror movie that's like so much fun. I remember having so much fun watching this in the theater, and I watched it again when I got this Blu-ray. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I really like that movie. It's James Wan, and it's super enjoyable. The Suicide Squad. This was my favorite film of 2021. I think it's like such a fresh take on like like a comic book movie like type of movie, with like the characters, the humor, like the violence, just like everything about it like was like so refreshing and like so much fun. And I just like had a blast watching this, and I remember watching it again and I still had like such a great time. And like all of the characters are like so good, and like it's just like it's like the definition of like a perfect movie for me. It's so good. So yeah. Then we'll just go through some of these. Machete, great Robert Rodriguez movie that I liked a decent amount. Evil Dead 2, another part of the trilogy that I have on Blu-ray here. Big Trouble in Little China, that's a decent John Carpenter movie. Midsommar. Oh man, this is one of those movies that really holds a special place for me. This movie is like so like chaotic and like really out there, but like it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like it's so well done, and like I really like Florence Pugh obviously, and like the ending is so good, and like all the themes that it has. I just really like the movie. It's really good. Fight Club. This is actually a gift I got. So this is a really great movie. That I actually watched this for my psychology class to like present like a topic about it. So interestingly enough, and yeah, it was kind of cool to get to like write about it. Even though like the teacher said I should have wrote more about the assignment rather than the movie, but that was just my love of movies coming out. But this is like one of the greatest twists of all time, like in my opinion. Like I know people might say that a lot probably, but I think I think it might be the greatest twist of all time in a movie. I just love the twist in this so much, and like the movie as well is like just really well done overall. So yeah, Fight Club's great. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is a steelbook. I don't own a lot of these. I actually own one for Casino, but I don't really like steelbooks. I don't like get the appeal behind them, because this is literally just a case with a disc. Like there's nothing in it. Like I never like, and there's not even anything on the back. Like there's just a van on the back. Like I don't know. I don't get the appeal of steelbooks really. I only own a couple. It's just like everyone like hypes them up, and I'm just like, why? Like I don't know. But nonetheless, I'm glad to have this movie on DVD. It's an all-time classic. Next we have Perfect Blue. This is like a really dark animation movie that I really liked. It's definitely different from like like kids animation and whatnot. But it's super well done with the themes it has, and like everything it talks about and like tries to say, and like it's so like horrifying like what's happening here in this movie, and it's like really effective at delivering like tension and like really good suspense. So yeah. This next one is a little bit like controversial. It's the movie Fall. Now, a lot of people like really didn't like this movie at all, but like I really liked it because I was just like sweating in my hands so much, and like I just found this movie like so intense for me to like watch. And it's just like one of those like anxiety movies that I watch where it's like it just makes me like so incredibly anxious, but like a movie that can like really like pull you in like that is just like so good in my opinion. So I haven't watched it a second time, but I'll have to watch it again. Next you have Morgan with Anya Taylor-Joy. Kind of underwhelming. It's not that good, really. The Truman Show. Truman! I love Truman Show, man. This is such a good movie. Oh my god. This movie is like everything to me, man. I've seen this movie so many times, man. It's an all-time favorite. Like, this and Speed, like, it's like my all-time favorite movies. Like, this is like one of the greatest purchases I've ever made in my life, buying this movie, because it is just such a good movie for Jim Carrey. It's such a good movie even if it didn't have Jim Carrey. Like, I don't know, like Jim Carrey just like makes this movie like everything for me though. Like his humor, his sort of like charisma, and like everything that goes along with it like is just so good in this movie. Like, you know, like the set and like the vibe of the movie and like everything that like goes on throughout. It's just such a perfect movie to me. I could just watch this movie anytime and just love it every single time. I can't like rave about this movie enough. I love it so much. So yeah, The Truman Show is amazing. What do we have here? The Banana Splits movie. That movie was really not that good. I saw it for Horror October. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Also, well, this was actually a decent movie. It wasn't as good as the 1970s one, but it was decent. Elvira's Haunted Hills. Not nearly as good as the first one, unfortunately. The first Elvira movie, but it's still enjoyable. It's just like this one's like really like over the top, like with how silly it is. Like it's insanely like silly to the point where it's just like stupid. But it's kind of a fun movie though. Happy Death Day. This is a cool movie to have, that I'm kind of glad to have, to own. I mean, like I saw this in theaters and like I really liked it. It was really enjoyable, and I really liked the premise and thought it was super well done. I think that the sequel is also underrated. I think people don't talk about the sequel enough, and the sequel is great too. But yeah, the first one, you know, great premise, really enjoyable. I mean, it's like Groundhog Day, but it's a really fun movie, nonetheless. So yeah. The Evil Dead, the Fade Alvarez one. This is a movie I bought just recently, actually, that I need to watch. I saw this like a long time ago when it like, I want to say when it first came out. I didn't watch it in theaters, but I watched it like a pretty long time ago, at least like 5 years ago. It's been a while. So at some point I'm going to have to rewatch that to like get a better idea of like what I really think about it. Next we have 2001. Really great film. Really well done film. Visually amazing for its time. Like really ahead of its time in terms of like visuals and like themes too. Like has really great themes about like artificial intelligence and like the way we live, and like yeah, like how people rely on artificial intelligence like at that time, like the idea of like man versus machine sort of, and then like also like the concept of like existence. Even like there's some like really cool stuff about this movie. It's super well done. Very great movie. And then lastly, the last one that I'll go over here is Barbie. I recently bought this on Amazon. because I would like to watch it again sometime, and I saw it twice in the theater, and it's just one of those movies that's really fun and really watchable. Really fun to watch, I should say. It's a great movie. I have some reservations about it, but I think it's super well done, and I really enjoy the plot and like everything that plays out. It's just a lot of fun. So yeah, that's my kind of like legacy, or not legacy, but like specialty collection here. Okay, last but not least, we have every movie I haven't seen in here. I keep in here. There are some Blu-rays I haven't seen over there, and some, like different movies over there that are like part of collections that I haven't seen. But for the most part, all of the movies that I haven't seen are in here. I will not go through all of these because that would just take way too long. But I will kind of like just hold it here for a while in case you want to like look at what they are, see what they are, and also let me do this as well. Okay, so I took these out so you could see what they are. These are some of the movies I bought more recently. Chef is one I definitely need to see like ASAP, and also Sideways. But yeah, I won't go talk about all of them, but yeah, that's The Office. Like I mentioned earlier, I own the whole box set. One of the greatest sitcoms of all time. I really like it, along with Friends as well. And yeah, these are all the other movies I own. If you want to like pause the video and like take a look at them all, feel free. But yeah, that's all of them. They kind of it's sad to me to say, but a lot of them kind of just like sitting there and like I forget about them. But like I have to like remember to like look at those and like try to like watch them. Because like yeah, I just mean like it's good to, you know, watch movies you haven't seen, especially if you own them on DVD. Like, it's a lot easier like rewatch a movie I own physically as opposed to like new one, I guess, for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because of like the way it's out here, or just like the fact that I own it and it's just like a great movie to rewatch. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. This has been a very long video, but yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this like sort of like showcase. I'm sorry I like dragged it on so long, but it was really interesting to get to like talk about like everything I own. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, so there's a few movies I had out that I didn't mention that I owned. First one being Donnie Darko, really great movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's just like so good with like the soundtrack and like the themes and like what's the story about, like, and like how like intricate it is, and it's just like really well done overall. And then we have Groundhog Day, really good like romantic comedy. It's like super well done, with Bill Murray, really high quality, amazing film, definitely. And then lastly, for comedy, we have Ghostbusters, just like an incredible like movie for its time, with like the comedy that I was able to nail, and it's just like a comedy like no other, with like all the different like humor in it, and like the absurdity of it all is just like makes it like so good. It's just such a fun movie. So yeah, that's my collection. So there you go.